weekly hybrid MLS practice meeting. My name is Samson with Pinnacle Real Estate Group, and I am your April Program Chair. We could to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us.
Please stand. If you have a heart, please put your right hand over. Raise the flag. Right, we begin the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Everyone, and this one touched me this morning. It's by Camilla Airing Kimball. You do not find the happy life, you make it.
All right, here's a little just long story short. So, my name is Samson, and I'm with Pinnacle Real Estate Group. So before I became a realtor, I'm a digital marketing specialist. I'm very familiar with Facebook marketing, Google PPC, and some different other social media marketing channels. So if you have a question, feel free to connect with me. And also, I'm one of the A coach in Pinnacle Real Estate Group to help new agents to succeed. If you also have a question regarding real estate, please let me know. All right. Thank you all. All right. If you would like to make an announcement, thank you on an announcement from located to my left. And we try to believe. Thank you. Space will be on Zoom, will be upon entry to the MLS breakfast meeting. And should you have a question or comment, remember to enter into the chat box. Us as we will have our hybrid MLS breakfast meeting every Thursday at 9 a.m. As always, this meeting is being recorded and will be available online on our YouTube channel, West Sinkyville Valley Realtors. Please remember to follow SGBR social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also watch all our recorded videos on YouTube. Join us. Message group for updates. SGBR TD number AAA 301-2201. Spotlight marketing channels. What's the motion's title? And our guest speaker first do manager and Traeger Cotten, senior project manager for Southern California Addis. Just a reminder to be eligible for this chart, you must be a WSGBR member and be in person at the association. And try an Amazon gift card, join and a 50/50 raffle. To you by the affiliate commissioner, you spend of loan direct.
Hello. I was just remembering, I've now been a member of this organization in 11 years now, and it is just blown by. So here's a little spotlight about me as we get to know one another. We've created great relationships. So this is so that we can grow in a relationship. So that we can grow a relationship with one another. First slide. I call it what the April showers washed in. Next slide. Because in my family, we are April birthdays. As a matter of fact, we have 6 birthdays all in 1 week. I'm the 21st. My cousin JD is the 22nd. Sandra and Duke are the 23rd. 24th is Carol, and 25th is Jason. Now, 3 of us out of that picture are double cousins. My mother's brother married my father's sister. Next slide. So right here in April, maybe make it through the storm. The last storm that we had was the pandemic, and I bought a sewing machine that arrived to me the week of my birthday. It was supposed to arrive in June on 2020, but it arrived the week of my birthday, and I became a member of the anti-sewing squad as an honorary uncle, and I taught myself how to sew, and I was able to sew 1,000 masks to contribute to a $100,000 mask charity that went out to orphanages, hospitals, and old age homes. Next. Building and sharing. During the pandemic, I also had to replace the foundation in my property. And I did another thing that I do that I love to do, and that is I cooked. So my workers got a full cooked meal every day that they worked for me. So that also helped me on the price. Next slide. You glide with the wind when you're an April baby. And I've since traveled. I've been traveling since I was a young child. I lived in South Africa. And this Christmas, after speaking with some friends from here, I decided, you know, I'm just going to book a flight and I'm going to go see some of my friends in Paris. And I wound up going to Paris, Madrid, Santiago de Compostela, Porto, and Lisbon. Next slide. And then when you're an April person, you plant seeds. I planted seeds here. There's some pictures from my West San Gabriel Association of Realtors family and people that I've met along the way. And one of the seeds that I'm really proud of is that I joined a kickball league this year. It's a co-ed kickball team, and I sustained an injury, but I'm okay. I'm still standing, and I'm planting seeds and I'm making friends wherever I go. Next slide. But most importantly, you give thanks. You give thanks for your family and all the blessings that you get. There's my parents and myself and my family. They're going to celebrate, God willing, 61 years of marriage. There's my nieces who are the chicks that rock my world, and my best friend coming up on 50 years of friendship, my best friend, Norma. And then there's me, where I give thanks on the weekends, directing the choir and singing and proclaiming the word at my church. So that's me in a nutshell, an April baby. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you, Marcus. We'll now have our affiliates introduction for the day. Okay, affiliate person today, please line up at the front. Please name your names. This is morning greeting only. Give a affiliate person.
I know.
They're all over there. One, two,
Good morning, everybody. Where's Plus Property Inspector?
So, can you hear me? Hi, Angie Hay, First American Title. Good morning. Good morning, Sage Gomez with my NHG, and have a great day.
Good morning, Jacqueline Chu from Champion.
Howdy, I'm Cosmo Sanchez, Mortgage Cowboy. Good morning, Bob Chu, Champion Escrow. Good morning, John Sun from Budget Line, your personal blind man.
Good morning, Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title.
Good morning, I'm Phoebe Lu from Jesus Bank. I'm a local commercial home officer. Thank you, guys. Wonderful day.
Morning, Ken Shen with Transco Wall Private Lending. Have a great morning.
Good morning, everybody. This is Carol with West Fargo Home Loan Mortgage Arcadia area.
Hello, this is Mas Alex. You're lucky from Shanghai.
Good morning, everybody. Lucia Tam, representing CarePod Chinese American Real Estate Professionals Association. Have a great weekend.
Good morning, Alina Chu from Glen Oaks Escrow. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone. Brandon Spransky with First American NHD. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning. David Tran from Home Warranty. I don't know about the other cowboy, but I'm the original and real one. I was a cowboy before you were born. You got me there.
Good morning, everyone. Yolanda Martinez Serrano, WFG National Title Company. Have an awesome day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Derek Talbert from CST Insurance. You have a great day.
Good morning, everyone. Chris Hahn with Geld Mortgage. Have an awesome day. And Marcus with Western Resources Title, and I want to wish you the best signs of spring, just listed and just sold.
Hi, good morning, Lena Sankari from US Eco Mortgage. I'm affiliate chair for this year. Thank you everyone for supporting affiliate. We have the pamphlet in the front if you don't have our information. Directory is inside, and you can also find out phone number, email through our website as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll call on affiliate who join us virtually. So first we have Judy Chung, AAA Capital Investments.
Good morning. This is Judy. I'm in the car. Wish everyone to stay dry and have a great week. Thank you.
Next, we have John Wax from Snack NHD.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap and HD Natural Hazard Disclosures. Have a wonderful day and a great weekend coming up.
Next, we have Jeanette Lowe from ACG Funding.
She's not here.
All right, please remember to support our affiliate with your transactions. We are happy to include open pitching to our hybrid MLS breakfast meeting. Remember, if you could like to pitch your listing, you must go to the www.wsgvar.com. Click on the open pitch, fill out the cover and request form, and submit no later than Tuesday midnight of the week you want to pitch. Today, we have one listing from Mindy Yen, Rebates 2000 Realty. The floor is yours, Mindy.
Good morning, everyone. Mindy Yen with Rebates 2000. I have a new listing on City of La Habra Heights, 1500 Ashland Road. It's a diamond in a rough with 270-degree breathtaking views, view of Catalina Island on a clear day, Disney fireworks, and there's a view in every single room of the house. So it has barbecue, pool and spa, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 2,844 square feet, over half acre, 36,000 square feet. There's a plan for draft for ADU, built in 1987, 3-car attached garage, private spacious driveway with auto, front rod, high gate intercom. Offer at $1,999,888. Please stop by. Ready to apply this Saturday open house 125. Hope to see everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mindy. All right. Next will be our guest speaker, Joyce Liu and Traeger Cotten. Joyce Liu is the business account manager for Southern California Edison. She readily shares latest Edison programs and incentives with business owners to support their energy needs. Traeger Cotten is a senior project manager with SCE's Business Customer Division of Customer Service. In this position, Traeger leads clean energy efforts designed to facilitate adoption of distributed energy resources. Please give a warm welcome to Joyce and Traeger.
Everyone. Thank you for having me. This is a familiar family. I've been here a couple of times. I know the last time I came was probably before COVID, so it's really wonderful seeing, that this board is meeting strong and long, and I have, a few friends I haven't seen in a while, so I'm really excited and just very happy to be here again. Okay, thanks. For those who would like my information, feel free and go ahead and take a picture there. This is my contact information. I primarily interact with business customers, same as Traeger as well. But I know, a lot of times you guys deal with residential as well, so I can take those, but I just want to emphasize I do primarily work with business customers and so forth. So next slide, please. Just wanted to remind everyone that scams are everywhere. And a lot of people unfortunately pose as Southern California Edison employees wanting to get your money. Sometimes they even threaten to turn off your power. So that's a pretty, unfortunately common fraud, especially for small business owners. So whenever you encounter that phone call, sometimes even email or text, please just, be cautious and just be mindful. And we do have some couple of resources there, phone numbers and emails that you can contact us. We work very closely with authorities as well in our territory in different cities. So just please be aware and not to be scammed. Slide, please. Want to let you know that we do have an incentive and a whole team within Edison that primarily offers what we call an economic development rate and services. So our EDR rate, if the business qualifies, if they're struggling, as you know, a lot of businesses, especially with the pandemic or even the economic downturn, may be struggling. We do have a program that offers 12% discount on their electric bill for the next 5 years. It is a stringent process, but if you do know of businesses that do qualify, feel free to connect with me and I will connect you with the EDR advisor in our territory. And that group as well also will offer local, state, federal tax incentives and really just let you know what is the holistic approach and how to save money and be in California. For running a business in California, it is really expensive. So that whole team really wants you to stay here and would like to just offer you attractive program services as well. So feel free to connect with me after if you know of any business owners who can qualify for this program. My account is a great online tool that I think a lot of people don't really know about, but you can actually go on there, see how you daily spend your electrical usage, what times you actually spend the most, and you can even adjust how you run whatever appliances that you have at your office. So it's a great tool. I highly encourage you to sign up for myaccount.com. It's available for all customers in SoCal. The rate comparison tool, it's a great tool we came out a few years ago where you can actually enter your account number and see if you're on the best rate. So part of my job is I actually help businesses try to save more money to see if they're on the best rate and program. And actually I would say even over the past couple of years, we've saved at least $3 million for business owners simply by going to this tool and, basically showing them and see if they're on the best rate possible. So I highly encourage you to go on this online tool or even connect with me. I can help you look that up as well. Summer is coming up, as most of you know, and then we do have a program called our summer discount plan, where if you do enroll, you get billing credits during the summer months. Where we do put a compressor on your AC. And I highly encourage, especially if your office have multiple ACs and perhaps one of them is just sitting idle, you're not really utilizing that. So that type of AC, I would suggest, consider enrolling in this program. The emergency load reduction program is similar to summer discount plan. It is also our demand response program. And typically it runs from 4 to 9 p.m., which is our peak what we call the most expensive time to use electricity for all commercial customers. So if you're able to save energy during that time, we do have bill credits for you as well. And this is for bigger customers. So I want to talk a little bit about electric vehicle EV infrastructure programs that we have. And as you know, California is leading the way, right, for the nation's EV market. As you can see, this is just a snapshot of how many EV vehicles have been purchased here in California. And we have, the most in the nation, and we are definitely leading the way here. And it's a huge market for the EV, not only the EV car manufacturers, but also charging stations as well. Next, please. And as you can see, just based on the graph below, just within the last 2 years, the EV sales have really soared and taken off. And I know in the next few years, as more and more car manufacturers are looking to turn their gasoline cars into EVs, you'll see a lot more sales as well and competition and perhaps even price drops as well. So it is becoming more and more accessible to everyone, consumers, and businesses alike. So this is one of our charge-ready transport programs. It is more for buses, the bigger vehicles, fleets, and so forth. So we do have funding in this program as well. So if you know of any transportation company, feel free to connect with me. We have a great rebate program, an infrastructure program where Edison will come in and put in the infrastructure for you on that property. We do have some charge-ready light duty program, and what that means is for your day-to-day Teslas or Nissan Leafs, those type of charging stations. Unfortunately, our current charge-ready program, the funds are expiring. However, the application is still open for low-income and disadvantaged community areas. We do have a small port rebate program, a minimum of 4 ports per property. That is quickly getting filled up. So, if any of you want, you think you qualify or you want to install charging stations on your property with 4 ports, then let me know. The biggest program money we have so far is new construction rebate. So developers who are looking to construct new development, especially post 2017, basically still qualify for rebate up to $3,500 per port. And if you have dual chargers, up to $7,000 per charging station. So I'm actually working with one of San Gabriel Valley's biggest developers on one of their actually multiple projects there, and they're definitely taking advantage of the new construction program there. So feel free to spread the word to your developing friends. Again, this is just the more technical snapshot of what Charge Ready is about. It's basically where Edison will come in, essentially look at the transformer, the different type of infrastructure they have, and the meter, and from the orange side, panel and conduits and lines. And so the Charge Ready Light Duty program essentially covers all the blue area there. And then for the orange area, you can go to the next slide, please. So this is a new program that is kind of replacing the previous slide. It's called our Rule 29. So again, Edison will come in, take a look at your property's infrastructure, but from beyond the meter, from the panel to the wires and charging station, the customer would be responsible for that. And that allows for a lot more flexibility and a lot more collaboration as well with Edison. And faster timeline, I would say, because I know the charger programs sometimes take up to, a lot of times take up to 2 years or so, but this one can be done a lot quicker. So this is a new program for an EV infrastructure. If you're interested, let me know. And just to let you know, we do have some other rebates available for you. Pre-owned vehicles can go, can have a rebate up to $4,000 if you're qualified. The standard option is $1,000 if you are doing a lease or used vehicle. This is what we call the Carbon Fuel California Clean Fuel Reward. So what we do is usually in the past, when you purchase a new EV, you will have to go online and submit the online application with Edison, and we cut you a check. But you no longer have to do that. We streamline the process. So when you do purchase a new vehicle at a car dealership, then you actually just ask for this, and then they will automatically give that to you. So make sure you ask for this. You say you heard from, SoCal Edison, and you should get a rebate right off the bat. Next slide. So this is a very good handy marketplace tool where we actually did a lot of data analysis and research and put it all on one website where we give you the energy efficiency, appliances, batteries, or batteries, and different things like that. If you go to the next slide, along the same line, a little bit off track from the marketplace is cars.etsy.com. And you can see the different electric vehicles available. And we actually did a research for you how much, mileage that you're saving, the money you're saving if you buy an EV vehicle. It will tell you the different types of vehicles and different incentives and tax incentives out there. If you go to your next slide. So this is kind of a snapshot of how we kind of display the information as well on this website. So it's a very great website. I highly encourage all of you to go on there. You can just simply Google it, just type in, cars.fd. So we do have the Energy Education Center, and that's actually where my office is located in Irwindale. I highly encourage you to come and sign up for free seminars, free workshops. We even have smart home tours. There are just a lot of things to see out there, as well as online classes. So feel free, this is all free resources for Southern California Edison customers. So just want to, get the word out there for you that it is something that you can take. So yes, that's it from me. If you have any questions, I'll be here after the meeting. And thank you again for having me.
A little closer to the mic here. Everybody here okay? All right. Good morning. Good morning. So I have the difficult task this morning to talk about a technical topic and try to break it down. I'll do my best. And Joyce, my office is at the Energy Center in Cotten. So if you ever get up that way, welcome to stop by and say hi. And earlier, Marcus emphasized the idea of thanks. So I just want to thank everybody for the time today. A warm welcome. And I think I got offered pastries like 8 times. Really, and coffee. So appreciate it. All right. Yeah. Pablo, Cosmo. Okay. Oh, it's grapefruit. Yeah, we'll have a debate. Thanks for the offering. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go over some quick facts about solar. Now we're going to go over some common misconceptions, and then we're going to go over incentives and special rates. Next slide, please. Okay, so just some quick facts about solar that you might not know. Kind of interesting. I get people asking me questions all the time. One of those is, hey, I have this much square footage. What does that mean for the amount of production that I can do on my own business? And so the general answer is 15 watts of DC solar power per square foot. Okay, that number used to be 10 watts. It's gone up because the efficiency of panels per square foot has gone up, right? So there's more density, right, of energy production for the panels nowadays. If we were to look at the annual full load operating hours of the solar system, it would be between 1,600 and 2,400, around there. Why does that vary so much? Well, if you're on the coastline and you have marine layer, you're going to have less production. If you're desert area, you're going to have much more. So that's the reason for the range. The system should have southern exposure. Western also produces energy, not as much as southern. And it should not be shaded by any trees, buildings, because that reduces the production quite drastically. Maintenance is required, right? A lot of people think, nah, these systems out there, no maintenance. So cleaning of the panels is a big deal. So as dust accumulates on panels, the production rate goes down quite drastically. So cleaning of the panels, there's also failures once in a while of panels, and that takes costs to replace. Many times the panels are under warranty, the labor may not be, it just kind of depends on your arrangement with your solar company. Installed cost. All right, installed cost, I get this question a lot, big range, somewhere around $2,000 to $5,000 per kW DC. Okay, why the big range? Well, there could be complications, right, in your situation. Like a common one is we have to replace the electrical panel in order to put this much solar on your panel, right, on your electrical panel. So that's additional cost, right? There could be long runs of wires. There could be unique breaker situations. So there's all these. You could be installing a canopy to hold the solar. That could add cost. Could be concrete work. Could be asphalt work. All right. So there's all those little complications that make up that range. But I'm trying to be useful here. So I'm trying to give you some facts, some ranges, just so you know where you're at. Okay, potentially eligible for the federal tax credit. This is a big deal. So if you have a tax liability, a tax credit, it currently is 30% of the cost. That is a big deal. Okay? So look into that. That was declining, and then it just jumped back up to 30%. And she remained there for a bit. Life of the system, typically the solar panels and the breakers, electrical wire, whatnot, 25-year life, long lifespan of the systems. The inverters are like the weak link, and so they have less life, and their warranties are usually less as well because of it. So around 10 years. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are some common misconceptions that I hear that are useful to talk about. So the typical configuration of a solar system does not provide backup power. Okay, so I got a call from my dad after he installed his system and the power went out. He said, "Hey, why don't I have power anymore? There's something wrong with the system." And well, that's just not how they work. There are systems that do that, but it's additional equipment, right? It's a battery. It is logic to be able to island and provide power to utilities out. So that comes with additional equipment and additional cost. These systems will not zero out your monthly utility bill. Okay? There are charges that are not avoidable, like the customer charge. Right? So if you're expecting a zero bill, that won't be the case. Does not penalize the utility. Okay, so in California, the utility profits are decoupled from retail sales. Okay, so I'm going to get you, I'm going to put solar on and not buy as much power from you, and that's not how it works. And in fact, customer behind the meter solar and storage is in our vision for our pathway 2045 vision for carbon neutrality here in California. So it's a big deal, right? So we're, I would say, more aligned on this than we ever have. Okay, typical configuration is not off the grid. Okay, so the typical configuration uses the grid for energy to go back and forth. Okay? To be off the grid, there are off the grid systems. Those systems typically have larger batteries, right, to float through the times when solar is not producing. They're usually more costly and less reliable compared to a grid connected system. How do you acquire solar? All right, so there's different arrangements, right? I get asked about these arrangements and how the finances go with solar. So the easiest, most simple, right, is the purchase, and allow purchase of the system. There are leasing arrangements. There are power purchase agreements. Power purchase agreement is where you're paying a company for the energy that's produced by that system. Usually at fixed cost, and it may have an escalation over time. So those arrangements are more common in larger, often government-owned or public-owned solar arrangements where access to capital is less available. And so it's a way to get the system installed and sort of pay. Okay. But that last little bullet there, we recommend comparing multiple proposals. This is probably the biggest deal. If you have somebody just come knock on your door and give you a proposal, that's one thing. But being able to compare those, reach out and compare those to other proposals, that's where I find the biggest discrepancy in costs of these systems between different vendors. So definitely talk to your neighbors, definitely reach out, definitely get multiple bids, and then do the comparison. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we're on to the solar incentives and rates associated with solar. And I put some here on the slide for discussion purposes. There are others, so this is not all inclusive. But the biggest one you'll hear about is INEA. Okay. Does everybody, let's see, hands up if you've heard of net energy metering. Okay, so yeah, all right, well, I'll explain it. All right, so so net energy metering is the typical billing arrangement for solar or solar plus storage systems. And in short, what net energy metering does is allows you to produce and export into Edison's system, and you get a credit for that. Okay, and that credit offsets almost entirely the cost of an equivalent energy that you're using. So let's say you have 25 cents of kilowatt hour that you're using, and then later that day, you export into our system, it cancels out almost entirely that 25 cents. Okay, it nets it. All right. So it's a billing arrangement. It allows exports, and it cancels out your imports. I'll come back to that because that program is closing tomorrow. So we're on the cusp of that closing, and a new replacement program will take place. I'll talk about it on the next slide. Hold on. Okay, so SGIP, next program, SGIP, self-generation incentive program that has was retooled a few years ago to cover battery storage. Okay, so that's the program to incentivize battery storage. So the funds are available for residential, less so for commercial. And but there are still some funds available for commercial. For residential though, there's a wide range of incentives, about 15 cents per watt hour, up to 85 cents per watt hour. So big range, and that depends on your location and your income qualifications. Okay, so that's for battery storage. All right, SOMA, that's solar on multifamily affordable homes. All right, so these last two ones are income-based programs. Right? The multifamily affordable homes, multifamily is difficult with solar, right? Because of how the configuration of the panels and the layout. So what this program is you would site a solar facility on the property, and then it would kind of virtually offset the energy of the tenants, right? So there has to be this arrangement in place. So SOMA, the money's available, and for those types of developments. Okay, last one, DAC/SASH, that's disadvantaged community solar, single family affordable homes, single family solar homes. Sorry, I'm gonna get my slide right here. Okay, but in short, what that is a very lucrative program for tenants or for single family owners that are in disadvantaged communities and meet the low income qualifications. The system is virtually free if you meet those qualifications. And that's ran through one of our partners, Grid Alternatives. Those two at the bottom, if you want to know more, type them in Google with SC in the end, and we'll get you to the right webpage. Okay, it's my last slide. All right, so I mentioned there's a replacement, right, for net energy metering. The replacement is the solar billing plan. Okay, so applications for solar that come in, solar and other renewable that come in after tomorrow will be placed on this plan. Okay, and I'll just, this plan's less lucrative. Right? So, but let's go through a couple of the kind of differences between the two. All right, so currently we're on NEM 2.0. You see on that left-hand column there, and then solar billing plan day after tomorrow. All right, so that doesn't mean your existing arrangements change. It just means for new applications that'll get on a different plan. Okay, so for comparing 2.0 versus the solar billing plan, 2.0 had a 20-year period, so you were on that arrangement, it lasted for 2 years. The new plan will have 90. Okay. The existing plan rolls over to, it stays with the system. The new plan, it won't stay with the system. So if there's a new party in, it doesn't get that 9-year grandfathering. Okay. All right, so this second row here is probably the most important change in the arrangement. Okay, so currently you get, I talked about that netting. You produce one, it's roughly equivalent to the one you're using. That's not the case anymore. So if you're using energy, then you're charged on your rate. If you're exporting energy, you get a credit that's based on an avoided cost calculator, which is roughly, I'm not going to call it wholesale cost of energy, but it's the avoided cost that Edison would have to pay to procure clean energy on the market, plus some infrastructure in that equation. Okay, so, and it's less than the retail price, right? So you can see how that's less. There's two options when you're in NEM 2.0, an annual billing option and a monthly billing option. Moving forward, it's just gonna be the monthly billing option. Okay. On NEM 2.0, there's no price lock. So meaning that as rates go up, it changes the value of that solar produced, exported to the grid. Moving forward on the solar billing plan, there is a price lock. So there'll be some more certainty moving forward. So you'll know what the export rate is. And that export rate is going to vary based on an hour, based on the day and weekend there's a differentiation between weekdays and weekends, and then by month, right? So a lot of factors, but it changes throughout the year, throughout the day, et cetera. But you'll know it, you get locked in for that period. So a little more certainty on the economics there. No special benefit for low income on NEM 2.0. Moving forward, there is a special benefit on solar billing. I'm going to try to wrap my comments up quick. Almost. Okay. Lastly, NEM 2.0 doesn't allow oversizing. Solar billing plan is going to allow oversizing of 150% if you submit an attestation. So you can say, I'm going to be adding this much energy because I'm electrifying my home or adding a car. So it allows for that, right? If you sign that you're going to be ramping up within the next 12 months. Okay, so I think that wraps up my slide, and my next slide was just questions. So I think we have some time here for questions. And so I'll just pause and see how I handle this.
Right. Thank you, Marcus. I'm sorry about that. Okay, here's the Q&A time. If you have questions, please come to the middle by the poll.
I have about Louisiana Realty. I have 3 questions. The first one will be about the lock. Who determines the lock? The lock rate.
The lock rate?
Yeah.
So the lock rate is predetermined by the avoided cost calculator, and it will be published, right? So you'll be able to look at those locked rates for the export. So we're only talking about the export that's locked, but that'll be available for you to look at.
And how many clients they really know about those locked rates?
You know, typically a lot of this information vendors know about. They're really tuned in, right? So a vendor would be able to explain that, get it, but again, it will be publicly available.
My next question will be on the car. If you add an electric car, says, okay, I bought an electric car. Why my rate will jump to the sky on the deliver electric power?
So
I have 2 clients which just register, which they bought a Tesla. Their light bill went to the rate went high on why they raised.
Right, so it's not a raising of the rate, it's more usage.
No, it's not the usage, it's the rate. The rate jump from 9% to 39%. 39 from 39 cents to 39 cents to deliver, whatever. But why jump so much?
So, kind of like what Traeger said, it's kind of like, you know, if it's a gasoline car, you use gas, right? You pay for that. So it's the same, electric car, when you use electricity, you pay for the electricity, it won't, you know, come in free. But for residential, they should be on time of use be prime. So that rate is different than the regular residential rate. So I highly encourage you to ask your friend or to look at their bill to see if they're on that right rate, because that rate should, you know, be catered more for EV charging type of rate.
The usage understandable, but the rate which change.
So you're probably talking about the overall rate. So yes, so for residential and commercial, the overall rate has been increasing. So, you know, just over last year's, every year it does increase. So I'm not sure, maybe you're talking about that as well. But again, I highly encourage you to see if you're on the best rate for what we call time of use prime rate for EV car charging for residential.
Yeah, and I would comment two things too, the time in which you charge is very important. And the tool that was pointed out, the rate change tool, is also something that I used recently and changed my own rate because I have a heat pump and allowed me to change to a prime rate.
The rate that based on the stage, charge the car, after neither than a but even so, that it's not the point. The point is because they raised the thing from 9 cents and something to 39 cents.
Move on to the next question. You can ask the more about after the.
Yeah, happy to talk with you after.
What can you tell us about?
Yeah, there's a big push for heat pumps right now. Electrification is certainly something that we're interested in. In fact, we have a filing for additional dollars to offset cost of heat pumps. And when that gets approved, you'll see a lot of money incentives in the market to incentivize that. So heat pumps, instead of, there's two big heat pump topics. There's heat pump water heaters. So changing out gas or electric resistance water heaters over to heat pumps, much more efficient, right? So it's a much more efficient way of heating water. The same is true for HVAC systems that have a gas component for the heating. And the push is to go all electric. And what that does is your air conditioner basically just reverses. The flow of refrigerant reverses and thereby providing heat to your home. So it replaces the gas component. It's a tried and tried technology. It's not new. And in fact, like these systems have been used for decades in other countries and here on certain instances, like portable classrooms almost always have a heat pump. Anyway, hope that answers your question. Happy to talk more.
The next question is, the time of the expense of electricity really bothers me. 4 to 9, family gets home from work, kids get home from school, they want to cook, you want us to use electric ovens, stoves, you want us to not use the computers, our kids have homework. I mean, that to me is an abuse of time for our family situations.
I hear you. It doesn't match up with mine well either. I'll just be the other side and say why. And the why is that electricity is much more expensive during that time period for us to procure. It's also high in emissions during those times. So that's the differentiation is there to incentivize you to use energy in different periods. That's the short answer. Maybe not a satisfying answer.
Yeah. On the solar SBP, the plan, what do you mean by the channel, the usage channel and the export channel?
Yeah. Thanks for asking that. Yeah, it gets real technical, right? So the meter, internally in the meter, it has a channel where it registers usage. It has a channel where it registers export. So essentially, we add those up for your usage, the input channel, and on the other channel, we add it up for the export. So we see the export. Now, just to be clear, we don't know how much you consume. So the energy that your solar system produces and you consume before it gets to the meter, we have no visibility to that. Meter just sees imports or exports from our system. Go ahead.
So it's like a monthly, right? They have like a bucket for input and bucket for output.
Correct.
And we calculate like that. And the rate, what is the rate for input and output?
So it varies based on your time of use for the input. The output currently today is almost equivalent to those same costs. Okay, day after tomorrow, it'll be quite different. And it's based on that avoided cost calculator and will be published.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anybody else here can ask questions after the meeting. I'm just gonna catch two really quick ones on Zoom. Yeah, I can go quick. It's yes or no. After the 9-year for the new solar, will the price lock be gone, meaning the price increase after the 8-year period or after the 9-year period?
Well, I can't say whether it'll increase or decrease, but yes, you will lose the lock and you will go into whatever that voided cost calculator export energy credit is at that time, which again will be published yearly, right? So it's updated yearly.
Okay, thank you. Next question, are new homes required to install solar panels? Really quick, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's all the questions. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That was a lightning round. Yeah, I'll stay around a little bit.
Anybody here can ask questions for our speakers afterward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Traeger, and thank you, Joyce. So, all right, on behalf of Western Gilgo Valley Realtors, we would like to thank our guest speakers for this very informative presentation. Please accept this most of our appreciation.
Step down, Samson. Samson. Yeah.
All right, please give another round of applause to our guest speaker. All right, now is what we're waiting for is the attendance join. All WSGVR members are included in this attendance join. Not all can be displayed, but all are included. Today, our pot is at $125. If we don't get a winner, $25 gets to add to the pot each week until we have a winner. If we get a winner, the pot will begin again at $25. If for all our last breakfast meeting, of the year, we still don't have a winner, we will join names until we get a winner. Winner must be in person at the association to win. When your name is called, you must announce you're here. If we call your name 3 times and you do not respond, we'll move on, no exceptions. Please spin the wheel.
Glenn Omokawa.
All right, guess we will have 150 next week. We will have our guest speaker to select 3 winners from those attending in person. Each will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. So I forgot my business card. Thank you, Traeger. First one, Alina Chu. And second, Melissa Chan. And the last one, Nancy Han. Right, thank you, Joyce. We have a special prize for Joyce. Hi, Melissa Chen again. And we also have Cecilia Huang. Thank you, Joyce, and thank you, Traeger. And congratulations to our winners. All right, please make sure to participate in our education classes. A list of upcoming classes displayed on your screen. So we will have our 45-hour DRE license renewal continuing education webinar. The cost is $85 on Friday, April 14th, which is today, 9:30 to 12:30. And
tomorrow.
Sorry, it was tomorrow. And we also have our Zipphone Plus training. So on April 17th to from 9:30 to 12:30. And we also have fair housing diversity forum on Tuesday, April 18th. And next will be lunch and learn the benefit of working with Chris Hong and Bill Mortgage on April 18th, 11 to 12. So right now will be 50-50 raffle. The number will be 191. 1249. And the part will be $34.
Yes. We're gonna announce, somebody's supposed to announce.
There's one people Gil Mortgage give you that announcement.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. So yeah, next week on Tuesday, as you saw on that notice, April 18th from 11 to 12, I'm going to be here teaching a class on my company and the